Thank you very much. Mine is to add into what my colleagues have said. This is an issue that used to be there with the last government, but we thought it has ended with the 2022 general elections. Immediately after the elections, the current president abolished even the unit that was dealing with this kind of, abductions, kidnappings, that happened even to the government employees. I remember it happened to them, the chiefs, it happened to teachers, it happened to health workers, it happened to so many people. After being held for 7-8 months, I remember of a chief that was just thrown into the bush while he was completely out. This has been happening with the last government. But after the swearing in of the current president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, he gave a statement himself. He abolished the unit. It has really, it has been halted for few months, but it came back. This thing is now with us. So many people are missing. Other than the elected leader, we have so many civilians that are missing. I'm sure the statements are all over in the police stations. Unfortunately, now it came to the leaders. We are missing an MCA. Tomorrow it will come to the members of parliament. It will come to the governors. It will come to the senators. We cannot accept this kind of, issues happening in our country. We cannot accept at all. We gave this scenario to the president 21st August last month. We gave the president this issue. Few days later, I think around 4 people were released, meaning the president must have acted. What we want the government to do, starting from the president, is to make sure this issue is approached so that this issue does not happen anymore. We want the release of this MCA as quickly as possible. 90% it is in the hands of the government. It is in the hands of our security agent or alive. We could have known where this MCA is. We want the release of this MCA, and we want this issue to be halted. This issue needs to be stopped, and we want a commission of inquiry formed by the president himself. We are calling upon the government to form a commission of inquiry to tell the public and Kenyans at large why this issue is happening and why this issue has not been followed. We want the government to call back all those people that have been released, including the chiefs, so that they can give, the history of what has happened to them. We cannot just leave this thing open. It has to be stopped. We need to have information. Kenyans needs to have the required information so that we don't undergo these kind of issues. No one is safe, including the media, guys. You are not safe. You are not safe, and we cannot accept this. As members of parliament, we are the mouthpiece of Kenyans. We are the mouthpiece of Kenyans, and we have to talk for all of you. We cannot accept, and we will raise it on the floor. We are going to give statements. We will not stop it here. We want the government to tell us with the whereabouts of the Mheshimiwa. This is somebody that has been elected by Kenyans, and his whereabouts is worrying us. We want the government to give a statement today over the whereabouts of the MCA. Thank you very much.
The final one.
I am the last one. Mine is Kenya is governed by the rule of law. Our constitution is based on the rule of law and democracy. We cannot allow this to happen at this era. My message goes directly to the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. During last term, he served under a government that was abducting leaders left, right, and center. And we thought and still believe he is the hope for Kenyans to stop that act. It has been rampant in the recent past in northern Kenya. Leaders have been abducted, members of the public. How safe are Kenyans if a leader can be abducted in a broad daylight? Is a question we need to ask the security apparatus in this country. We don't know where the honorable member is. The family are under distress. The entire voters of Della Ward are also stressed. We don't know his whereabouts. We want the government to come out and tell us where the honorable MCA is. They cannot take the rule of law in their hands. Kenya is not a republic, banana republic. We have a constitution. We have 3 arms of government that have separation of powers. We have our courts that we believe in. If somebody is suspected to be a criminal, he should be brought to the court of law and justice be served. Mine is again to ask the president to kindly act on this one, because leaders cannot be away, cannot be abducted, and tomorrow it can be me, it can be a governor, it can be somebody else. We are not going to take this simple, and as honorable member said, we are going to take it far. This cannot happen in Kenya in a broad daylight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, members of the board state. Asanteni sana. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you. Kwamba Kenya is not a banana republic. It is a country that is supposed to be governed by the rule of law. And as far as we are concerned, the Constitution of Kenya has not been suspended. And what we are asking as people from the region, fellow colleagues of Honorable Yussuf of Della Ward, we say if there is any Kenyan from any part of this country who has been found or suspected to have done something wrong, anything wrong in law, then he should be subjected to the processes that are well established in the laws of this country, processes that are well established in the Constitution of this country, processes that give the accused or whoever is suspected the fair hearing and fair judgment. We are not saying that those people who are suspected of having anything to do with breaking the law, we are not trying to protect anybody here, but we are saying if anybody is guilty of anything, or if anybody is suspected of anything, then they should be subjected to the due process of law. It has been anguish and it has been sorrow in the region for a long time now. When you find your relatives, your friends, your constituents disappear without trace. Recently in my constituency in Mandera South, one of our constituents, who is also a relative in a way, disappeared for the last 3 years. And we had to, we didn't know how to perform the closure for the family of that person. And we had to resort to religious, ruling on that. What happens if somebody has disappeared for 3 years? You don't know whether he's alive, you don't know whether he's dead. We had to perform some rituals to give closure to that family. And we don't want families from Northeastern or any part of this country to be subjected to this every now and then. These abductions and disappearances have been happening since before even the Constitution 2010, and the trend has continued even after we have enacted the Constitution 2010. And that is why we are saying, let Kenyans be subjected to the rule of law. Anybody who is suspected of having done anything wrong should be arraigned in law, in court, in a court of law. And if the judges and the evidence available shows that that person should be hung, so be it. But this psychological war of the people from this region, making disappearances, women have disappeared, children have disappeared, young men have disappeared, elderly people have disappeared, and extrajudicially some of them executed. And this is what we are saying should not happen in the modern day Kenya. when we are boasting one of the best constitutions in the world. Thank you.
We have Speaker of Wajir County Assembly on behalf of his colleagues.
Let him sit in the middle. All those microphones cannot. One passes.
Thank you very much, members of the press. I first of all want to appreciate what the honorable members are doing in trying to bring to the attention of the country. My name is Della Yussuf Hussein. I'm the Speaker of Wajir County Assembly. So I want to applaud the efforts being done by the honorable members in trying to bring to the attention of the country the plight of the honorable member Yussuf Ahmed, who was abducted on Friday evening. As it is our responsibility as an assembly, we have reported this matter to the relevant investigation authorities. It's now 5 days since the honorable member was abducted. It's the duty and the responsibility of the government to protect the lives and the property of its citizens. Much as we are not confident that the honorable member is in the hands of the security agencies, we would have expected the security agencies to expedite the investigation so that any information they have, they share with the family and the relatives and his colleagues and even the country. But so far, nothing has been done. So first of all, we are appealing to the government to expedite the investigation into the whereabouts of this honorable member, a state officer, somebody who was elected, and the government ought to have given him ample security in the first case. Secondly, we are appealing, if this honorable member is in the hands of security agencies, then he should be produced in court immediately. The president himself, on a number of occasions, has committed to himself, has committed to the country, has assured the country on a number of occasions that the era of extrajudicial means in dealing with criminal issues or whatsoever is no more. So we are expecting that the security agencies and other arms of the government should uphold the commitment that the president has made. So our final appeal is that we appeal to the government agencies to expedite the process of investigation of this, the absence of this honorable member, the abduction of this honorable member, and as soon as possible try to share the information they have on his whereabouts with his relatives and his electorate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Abbas.
Good afternoon, members of press. I wish to join my colleagues. My name is Abbas Mohammed, the Senator for Wajir. I wish to join my colleagues and follow suit that Honorable Yussuf, the MCA for Della, has been missing for the last 5 days. Constitutionally, I think, if at all, somebody is being held by the security apparatus, is supposed to be produced in court within 24 hours. And therefore, we want to appeal to anybody, all the security apparatus, to produce Yussuf to court. If he's a criminal, the court will take his course. If I say again, if Honorable Yussuf is not being held by any of the security apparatus, then it is the responsibility of the government to seek and look for Yussuf, as every Kenyan has a right to, and properties have to be protected. The people and their properties have to be protected. And therefore, if Yussuf is not in the hands of the security apparatus, we will request the same security officers to take quick action and investigate the whereabouts of Yussuf and produce, because his family is actually now tortured and have sleepless night. If it's within our, within the security holding them, the security is holding him, then let him be produced, or let him be given information. Keeping somebody in Komakodo is not the right thing that should be done. Yussuf has a right for representation. Yussuf has a right to be informed whatever is the problem. With those few remarks, I want to appeal again that Honorable Yussuf, the MCA for Della, shall not be missing more days. Whether he's dead or alive, let us know where he's about. With those few remarks, I want to thank the members.
Thank you.
Thank you. I put it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
How do you put it?
Well, I just told.
I don't know.
let me help you, Wachilia.
Thank you, team. All we are asking for is the rule of law. There are criminals everywhere. We have criminals in northern Kenya, be they drug dealers, sympathizers of Al-Shabaab, all kinds of criminals are there. But an MCA, a leader, who has been abducted for weeks, cannot be missing. If he's a criminal and there is sufficient evidence to pin him down, we request the government to bring him to the courts of law so that he can face justice. But he can't be missing a leader. If he's missing tomorrow, I'll be missing. I'm equally a leader. So we want the rule of law and the criminal justice system to be functional, to convince all Kenyans that we have a reliable, dependable justice system. That is all we are asking for. It's not to condemn anybody, but the rule of law must always prevail. That aside, I think the Somali community or people of northern Kenya have equally some responsibility on their part. Drugs are trying to ruin the northern Kenyan communities. The Somali communities must up their game and fight all these criminals. We must fight Al-Shabaab in equal measure. We must give information. We must stop those people who are doing business in these drugs. So it's not something only for the government. As much as we cry for justice, the Somali community must also take responsibility and push the frontiers of these criminal gangs and activities to wherever they have come from. That is something on our side too. Otherwise, the government shall never escape any blame, be they Al-Shabaab, drug barons, or any other form of criminality. They can't hold them in hiding, in estates in Nairobi, in Communicado. All we need them is to avail them in 24 hours in our courts. What they are trying to do is to torture these people, torture them so that they can produce the juice out of them. I don't know what kind of information they are looking forward to. People are being tortured so that they can give evidence, and that is not the way. The judiciary, our judges are well trained to make sure that they can get the best through cross-examinations and convict people accordingly. But not the security apparatus trying to use unorthodox means to get out information. I myself, one person has been killed in Wajir North, 2 are still missing. I don't know where they are. Are they in Somalia, in Ethiopia, or in Kenya, where? It's like we have the infamous Guantanamo Bay, kind of. Guantanamo Bay, kind of, in Kenya. Many cells belonging to the security apparatus. People are being hidden. The anti-terrorist team, and as much as we appreciate their work, They are a terror group for sure. The multi-sectoral team, nobody can take responsibility. The intelligence tell you it's not us, it is this other sector. I mean, we can't have multi-sectoral team that has no regard for law. We have the Kenya Police Service, we have the DCI. Simple. The rest, I don't know what these are multi-sectoral thing. Even KWS may be involved. You can imagine what will a ranger do in combating crime. So we are back to 80s. Back to 80s. We can't allow that. This must stop. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm here to join my colleagues over the same. This is a trend which has been happening mostly in northern Kenya. Not only for the member of county assembly. This is a leader who has been elected. And if there is anything, if a leader is not safe, then who else is safe in this country? One can wonder. Secondly, there is the issue about, people are talking about, if it's not with the government, the member of the county assembly, if it's not with the government is not holding him. Why are we questioning? Because the responsibility on the lives and security of everybody vests on the government of Kenya, nobody else. So we have no doubt, if this guy would have been abducted somewhere in Wajir, one may even doubt that this could be Al-Shabaab or anything like that. But in the heart of the country, Kenya, in Nairobi, you have no any other to blame, but it's the government now to produce this person, either take him to court. I have already from my Isiolo County, 3 of the young boys have been abducted and they are nowhere to be seen for the last 3 months. So where are we going? Seriously, what are we doing? Are we in control? What is this? Are these, like my colleague was saying, is it really, are these terror groups or something like that? What are we doing? So it's something serious, and we stand up and say no to some of these things. Government should produce the MCA, I think, in the quickest possible time, so that it can be taken to court for the parents to avoid the more problems with the parents of the deceased. Thank you.